Alright guys, here's the breakdown of the chord stuff. Um, this song is in the key of D minor, so that might not mean much to some of you just yet, but what that means is pretty much it's based around this one chord. So when that solo happens, he's actually playing that solo in the key of D minor. It's all D minor. So this one chord, there's a couple ways of playing it. You can play it with just three fingers, your first, your second, and your third finger. And it starts with your third finger on the 7th fret, third string from the bottom, so my G string. So third finger on the 7th fret, second finger on the 6th fret on the B string, and my first finger on the last string on the 5th fret. And then the strum pattern is like so you have, it's all down ups. First one's a long down strum, and then a quick up strum. When you strum, I want you to make sure that you keep your wrist really loose. Otherwise, you're going to be all tense, and it's just going to be really hard to do. So you have one long strum down, one quick one up, and then two quick down ups, down ups. And a good way to keep your timing, so when I say timing, so you're not doing something that's off the beat from everyone else, is to keep this hand kind of moving. So I spoke about this a little bit when we talked about funk stuff, is that when I strum, my hand is always sort of doing this, but it's not always playing the strings. I've just got the movement happening. So it's kind of what I do, except for that long strum. I just let my hand fall down, and I kind of feel that space. So you notice how my wrist is sort of moving all the way there? Yeah. So that's pretty much the one main chord. There's another way of playing this, which is a little bit harder, is where you put your first finger from the 5th fret on the A string, and you bar, which means you're pressing down on all the strings from that string downwards. So first finger sits on that A string on the 5th fret, and you're pressing down on all the strings. Then you take your third finger, your fourth finger, and you put them on the 7th fret, on the D string and the G string, and then you play it like that, making sure that that finger's barring all those strings, and then you put your second finger on the B string on the 6th fret. So essentially it's the same chord as that, except you're getting some more notes in it. But if that's too hard, and it is hard with barring all those frets, all those strings, sorry, you're more than welcome to play it the other way. So that's the D minor chord. Yeah. And then it gets to this point. That's pretty much the chord that you play throughout what's called the verses. And then after that, you go to this chord. It's essentially the same fingering as this, except you're moving your your third finger, your second finger, and your first finger up a set of strings. And then you bar that first finger, so you're getting the top two strings. So I'm getting the top two strings, second finger goes on the 4th fret, on the 3rd string up, and then my third finger goes on the 4th string, on the 5th fret. This is a G chord. It's just another way of playing the G chord. Like there's one way there, there's another way there, there's one all the way up here. But we'll stick with that one for now. If you want to learn the other way, we'll talk about it in class, because we'll try to make this fairly quick. So you have this. And then when you get to this G chord, constant up down. Yeah. So if we play that with the song, it sounds a little bit.
We don't need no education. We don't need no thought control. No dark sarcasm in the classroom. Teacher, leave them kids alone.
You hear that? Brings us to our next bit. Yeah. So, main part, that's our G chord, and then it does this thing. It sounds a little bit trickier than what it is. First thing is up on the 10th fret. So all you're doing is with your third finger is barring from that third string downwards. And then you're playing this chord, second finger on my 9th fret, just down 1 fret from that other chord, and my first finger bars again. So it's sort of like this chord, except you're playing it up here with just the 2 fingers. Sorry. And then it goes to this third chord, where you have your first finger on our 7th fret on the 3rd string, second finger on the 1st string, and then your third finger sits in the middle on the 8th fret. So these two both sit in the 7th fret, and then this middle sits in the middle. This finger sits in the middle. Okay. So you have your third finger barring all the strings down on the 10th fret. You've got your second finger on top of this one on the 9th fret. First finger barring those strings down on the fret behind it on the 7th, 8th fret. And then you've got this shape, which is pretty much just looks like a little triangle. Yeah? We will look at this in class, so if you do struggle, don't stress. And then after that little sequence, so you go and it goes to this chord down here, which is an F chord. So with an F chord, it's essentially like this G chord I showed you before, except you move it down, so your third finger's in the 3rd fret. So you have your third finger, second finger, fret behind in the 2nd fret, and first finger in the 1st fret, but barring the last 2 strings. So this third finger's in the 4th string, second finger on the 3rd string, and then your first finger's on the 2nd and 1st strings. And then the chord after that, it's a bit easier than that one, is the C chord. We've looked at C chord in class, so you've got your third finger, second finger, and then you got your first finger. So third finger, 3rd fret on the 5th string, second finger on the 2nd fret on the 4th string, and first finger on the B string, which is our 2nd string, in the 1st fret. And you let those other strings ring out. So I'm going to play through it with the song and just sort of watch how I do this.
We don't need no education. We don't need no thought control. Teacher, leave them kids alone. It's just another brick in the wall.
Back to that D minor chord. F chord again.
All in all, you're